So how have you been?
I'm just planning to do a few things, and we're always planning for looking forward and going ahead,
Absolutely.
diversifying, and yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So, welcome, Rita ji, and thanks for accepting this offer of the live session with me.
For having me.
Yes, and thank you. And you are a personality who does not need any introduction in the fitness industry. Everybody knows you, right? So, but still, I would love to introduce you, and then I'll ask your introduction from your mouth. I mean, that will be a pleasure to hear from you, right? But what I know will be my take. So, Rita ji is the World Peace Ambassador. सबसे बड़ी चीज तो to be a peace ambassador is an honor in itself, right? So ये किस चीज में peace ambassador है, we'll ask from her, right? And then she is IFBB pro figure athlete, one of the highest levels she has achieved in the fitness industry. And again, IFBB pro league international judge. So just wanted to ask you, आपने एक एक करके इतने खिताब जो हैं वो अपने पास लिए हैं. You have all the feathers in your hat. How did you manage that? Did you ever thought that you will be actually getting to this point in the journey in fitness industry?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
I just wanted to be fit always, and but there is a basic principle which I think every human being must live with, that just keep on going and follow the course and leave the results on God. So I think the rest is taken care of by nature itself.
Right. So as and when you move forward, the doors kept on opening for you. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, yes.
Great. And what was your thought process when you were a child? You always wanted to be in the fitness industry, or did you plan for some other domain?
No, I wanted to be a doctor. I was very good with my academics. I'm still in touch with most of even my schoolmates from very young age, and they wouldn't have ever imagined, they wouldn't have fathomed in the wildest of their imagination that I would ever be a bodybuilder. I was very gentle and very loving with everybody, more into fine arts, music, and such stuff. But I, at the same time, I always wanted to be fit. And in the sense that, if you say 70s, 80s, there was not much physical, the kind of gyms, but we had a physical activity which should be there in every person's life, ideally. We would go to school with, on cycles, and we used to participate in outdoor sports and such things. So we were always very active otherwise. Right? We obviously, our generation was such that we were not much with video games and computer games and so on and so forth. Even if I would go and sit in a library and just study, I would walk up to pick up a dictionary or an encyclopedia and search it. It was very different, very, very different. I love what we have, like Google now, but does it train you away? That's another thing. But we have access to a lot of information just by sitting on our beds. But there, you needed to make a proactive measure. So I never thought I will be a part of the fitness industry professionally. Never. We didn't have it. We had sports. And or fit, or you're just fit and strong, or you're not. That's it. It was simple.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So it was only much later, when my son was already a teenager, and he wanted to have a body like Hrithik Roshan, unlike the Bollywood stars of our times, and so he wanted to be like that, and I had to take him along. So that was the reason that I started going to the gym in the first place.
Oh wow! So you were a mother, and then you started to go to the gym.
Yes, yes.
That was
My son
your
was,
entry point.
yes, he was already 15 years old.
Wow,
Yeah.
great. And
But
how
when
old
he was
he's
six
as
years old, I taught him how to swim, and I
okay.
took part in a swimming competition. And
Hmm.
along with him, I taught him how to do skating. And then I won a medal in the Shahid Bhishan Singh Memorial skating competition also. So
Okay.
it was more of sports, not the gym and the traditional bodybuilding kind of thing.
Right, right, right. Great. How old is your son at this point of time?
He will be 32 in November.
Wow. Great, great. So it's been like 17 years for you in the industry when you started gymming, and I can calculate it from your son's age.
Yes, 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 absolutely.
Right. So, uh, in which sports you were very active before you realized that yes, gymming is for you?
Just before gymming, I was like really looking after him. I had a kind of personal tragedies in my life, that my father died, and then my mother had a very prolonged sickness. So I had to look after her all the time, and then my son also, he's an autistic child, so I had to look after
Okay.
him. So there were two houses, two actual full-fledged household with patients I was looking after. So at that point of time, I wasn't doing anything. But before
Hmm.
that, yes, I was into swimming and skating. And, even in my school days, I was very active on the sports day, right from,
Hmm.
commanding the march past to, I was very fond of that, and playing kho and kabaddi in school. And so it was
Okay.
like, varied kind of thing over a period of time.
Uh-huh.
But nothing that I really took professionally. But yes, I did participate in swimming competitions, and I won a medal. But that wasn't a serious profession.
All right, all right. Great. That is a great journey. But yes, it started with challenges, but what you have achieved is beyond all challenges. You have tasted the success and inspired several women, several people around the world. So that is great. Absolutely. And uh, you said you always wanted to be a medical doctor, right? If I'm
Yes,
correct.
yes.
Right. So you are still a doctor, but in which domain?
I got that from the United Nations diplomatic mission through the embassy,
Uh-huh.
and submit all the work and documents which I had done in the last 3 decades.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that is scrutinized, and they see a very. I have a big profile of certificates. I think at that point of time, I counted my certificates. I had about 85 certificates.
Wow. Wow.
So, I have I've been done various jobs, and so the kind of experience that I had, and the kind of work which I have done with my child, and in the field of mental health also. So
Hmm.
it was all considered in totality. So the subject was women and child
Hmm.
empowerment, and I got an honorary doctorate in that.
Wow.
So earlier
Great.
I wasn't writing it, but I was made to I was kind of pushed into it, that write it, and let it be an
And
example.
whoever pushed it, he or she has done it absolutely right. What you deserve has to be in front of the society. You know.
Yes,
So
yes.
that is the truth. Now, what was the biggest challenge you faced, and I mean, a challenge like that when you wanted to give up, but you still went off and you did know, I have some goals in life. I want to achieve something. Was there any kind of challenge which made you to your knees and you wanted to give up?
See, the biggest challenge, even now, till date, which I consider in my life is, as I told you, my mother, she had schizophrenia, and she was mentally sick. She had it was pretty severe. She used to get auditory hallucinations and respond to them. So that was right from I think even before I was born, because she became like that when she conceived me. So there was even
Hmm.
a doubt whether I would survive or not. So I think before I was born, I was fighting it out. And then, my entire childhood and teenage, I used to imagine a normal household. So when my son was diagnosed with autism, that was a point I really broke down, because I came kind of to a dead end. And I felt that this was probably the last one, because you can even terminate a marriage, but motherhood is not terminable. It's going to stay with
Absolutely.
you. Even it's going to stay with you even after you go. So
Right.
that really was a huge challenge. And at the time, doctor said that he will not be able to speak. They're kind of born like they don't have an instinct, and even if they say a couple of words, they don't assign meanings to it, and it's kind of a parrot speech. So I knew that there was a huge journey. But then, since the very fact that I had nothing else to look forward to, I gave up on my career and everything, and my focus was completely on him. And everybody thought I'm crazy, wasting my time, and it's not going to happen. And it takes, like, say, about 10, 15, 20 years to be able to even say one word. But like, I kind of, at that time, I really look back, and maybe there was something divine in me. I was kind of working 36 hours in 24 hours a day. So I
Right.
studied on my own. There was no awareness about autism in India, and I got a lot of literature from abroad. I made my own properties. I took him around to psychiatrists, and explored all the possibilities, and I did everything myself. And then,
Hmm.
even to get him into a school was obviously, it was next to impossible. But I stayed in the school, and I worked with the school people in the initial couple of years, so that they would accept him. So it was like a
Hmm.
huge journey. About, I think I didn't do anything for about 20 years, nothing except just looking after
Taking
him.
care
So
of
that
him.
was the biggest
Yes.
challenge. And in the beginning, when everybody said that it's not going to lead you anywhere, it's crazy, you should. So that point of time, it came to my mind that I could give up, and it wasn't working also. It's not easy, to put an instinct into a child, where God has also not given the instinct. But I kind of broke it into baby steps.
Hmm.
If you cannot do anything, you divide it into small steps, and go one micro step at a time. And
Hmm.
irrespective of the time it takes, and just detach yourself from the result.
Hmm.
So if you do these two things, that you're not going to worry, it's a calculated risk. So I had come to a point where I had nothing to lose except time. So if you're taking a calculated risk, trying the impossible, and just break it into micro steps which are possible, however small.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then he has reached a reasonable level today. Like, eventually he did his post graduation from UK, and he did his graduation and post graduation, and today he helps me in my work. He's not doing a job, but or not earning for himself, but he's helping me a lot. So so he's come a very, very long way. So he's functional. He speaks. He's able to write. He's able to work on computers. He types my articles.
Hmm.
So he's a good assistant to have. He's like kind of we are like best friends. That is a challenge I faced, and I felt that it's kind of a dead end. But then I just continued.
Absolutely. And I would say that that is the biggest challenge a mother can have, uh, taking care of the child, and that to such an extent. And वो कहते हैं ना कि माँ की शक्ति, माँ की ताकत जो है, when everyone was saying that you are wasting your time, but you still fought with the thoughts which they had, and your own mental level which you had at that point of time, and you never wanted to give up on your kid.
It's very
And
difficult
today,
for women. Everybody has an opinion about women, and
absolutely,
a mother, you cannot doubt a mother's intentions. No way. Um,
absolutely, yes.
but even when I sent him for his education to UK, there was a whole world after me. It takes massive amount of
Hmm.
money. You can secure his future,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
he had to be functional. I had to enrich him. Today,
Hmm.
no matter, I might have spent ridiculous amounts of money in 4 years,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
he has done his graduation and post graduation. That is priceless. There is
Absolutely,
There
absolutely,
is no,
absolutely,
you can't attach a monetary value to that. I had to
absolutely,
fight it
and
out.
absolutely, and the most important thing is he has made you proud, right?
Yes.
So that is the best gift a child can give to a mother, in that negative environment and scenario where everybody was saying that this will not happen, and you both have decided that we will make it do.
Yes.
So that is really proud, and you have to be proud of. I mean, both of them should be proud of each other, and I believe you are. Great. So coming to our next question would be when you end up into gymming, and you must have end up in the gymming just for fitness. But when did you realize that yes, you are made for bodybuilding?
Yeah, yeah, that's also something like when I went to the gym in those times, like as you said, 17 years ago, uh, the gym trainers were not very happy with women doing weight training. They really discouraged me,
Hmm.
and I
Hmm.
had to. I went to the gym to teach weight training to my son. I knew he wouldn't be able to manage it alone there.
Hmm.
I realized in the process of teaching him that this is something I'm loving, and I wanted to
Okay.
do it. And the more they stopped me, and the more I was bent upon, taking it. I said this earlier also. You tell a woman to stop doing
You
something, and
repelled.
then you just watch her.
Right. Right.
So I really was very adamant, and actually to give them explanations, I started reading about it and studying about it, and then when I continued, I started taking part in little competitions. In the beginning, I had no competition, but then
Hmm.
people started noticing me, and then later on I went on to do some courses, and even a lot of trainers get back to me and say that because of you, I've told so many of my clients that you should be doing weight training. So that really makes me
Hmm.
happy. Now a lot of girls now come back to me and say that we started bodybuilding because of you. So at that time, since there was nobody, and I did, there were a few people who encouraged me. So I started participating in small competitions, and then went on and then we didn't have bodybuilding for women the way it is
For women, yes.
in the international scene at that time.
Hmm.
Now of
Hmm.
course we have so many shows.
Right.
So I decided to learn from the best, who really know what is authentic, not just
Hmm.
wear t-shirt and shorts and come for a bodybuilding show. I mean, that I felt was something I really don't
Hmm.
relate to. I knew
Hmm.
this is silly,
Hmm.
and so then I trained with Shannon Day, with Dennis James, a lot of coaches abroad, with Fakri Mubarak, and eventually in Kuwait with Ahmad Askar. So I
Hmm. Hmm.
trained with a lot of very good coaches, and I competed in so many competitions. So step by step, then it just I just went with the flow.
Wow, great. And as an athlete, there would be a lot of challenges you would have faced as a woman and as an athlete. Both taking it forward hand in hand would be a challenge for you. What do you want to say about this?
Actually, as an athlete, when you're a true athlete, if you look at the athletes in the Air Force, and they have real hardcore gyms, and the best athletes come out from a very rustic backgrounds. So you need to be
Yes.
very tough, and you need to eat right. Actually, that is not so expensive. Or the problem is with the neighbors, relatives, the federation. The problem is always outside. If you want to do
Yes.
it, the problem is never inside.
Never inside. Correct.
If you want to do it, if you are looking for excuses, then that's a totally another, that's a completely different matter. But when you say athlete, and a person is already an athlete, it means that this particular person is already well motivated from within, and
Hmm.
this person wants to do it. Now the challenges are either even the economic challenges are only met considering the travel and the registration fees, or somebody is exploiting you for winning, or because this is a market based sport, it's market driven.
Yes.
We
Yes.
have brand ambassadors, we have sponsors. So though the complications are external. The challenges, the main challenge I face, because of the problems I face in my personal life, I was already living in isolation. So I didn't really care for what neighbors or relatives said. But the main challenge I faced at that point of time was from the federation.
Okay.
Yeah, we had to pay huge amount of money just to get a no objection letter. Like now we don't have it at all. I think the athletes now don't even know about it. They just go and compete, and at the most they may say, oh, we have to pay that much of registration fees. But at that
Right.
time we had the registration fees, we had to pay for travel, and we had to really struggle for, like, you are ready for a show and then you don't even know whether you'll get a no objection letter or not. You need to keep struggling and requesting and following up, and it's like mentally very tormenting. So these were the challenges. And as a woman, yes, I did get to hear a lot of stuff like the competition suit is something which nobody has done till now. And, it's, they won't be able to distinguish between the fine line between vulgarity and sport, which is where a body is being looked at from an anatomical perspective, and
Right.
very objectively like a sport, but not in a sensuous manner. So that is an entirely different thing. It's a whole new chapter.
Absolutely.
So these were the challenges, the relatives and neighbors and societal part. I was absolutely able to overlook. It didn't make any difference to me. The federation was, yes, challenge. So that was a fight at every step. There was no
Right.
choice. When you
Right.
have no choice,
Absolutely.
you just manage, by hook or by crook.
Absolutely. And then you go on.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I always say to my people as well, if you want to be successful, you have to be blind and deaf and
Yes.
just move on.
Yes. Very much.
If you keep on hearing to other people, they'll be pulling your legs down, right? That is
Absolutely.
the
Yes.
right. So that is the main thing which an athlete, the mindset of an athlete shows. So I just want to talk more about the mindset, the thought process of an athlete while training. So training is then, I mean, that is the integral part. We don't live without training. So during trainings, you would have faced some injuries or the thought process at that point of time where you would be just focusing on the competition approaching you, and maybe an athlete goes to an injured part or on the bed and ruin the mental level. So did this happen to you also?
No, I think that since childhood, when I was young, I was doing Bharatanatyam, and then I was swimming, I was skating. I think I had already developed a considerable level of body awareness, flexibility, and basic strength. And in the beginning, when I started weight training, I used to try to fight it out by doing sometimes too much of heavy weight, and sometimes not in proper form, which was a mistake. But God has been very kind to me that I learned very quickly that this is not right. And so then, I learned from my own mistake, but I never got injured, and now I very deeply understand. The good thing I did was I always had the best coaches. That was one thing. The second thing was that even before I started bodybuilding, I had done so many courses. I had read about it, and so for a very short period, when I did try to go overboard, I think my previous, all the hard work that I done kind of cushioned it up. And by the time I realized, a wise man is one who learns from others' mistakes.
Right.
So in that period, I saw a lot of people having injuries and wear and tear. So you have to be one step ahead. Like, I'll give you an example. My Bharatanatyam, the place where I go to for learning, the guru is 83 years old.
Oh,
And
wow.
when I met her, I have of course restarted after a gap of more than 25 years. So about 2 years ago, I went to her and I told her that I'm already in my 50s. Will I be able to do it? And she's in her 80s. She performs. She's super active, and I'm like, she's like a goddess. We're so proud of her. So she said that, you just take care of your knees and lower back because you're aging. And if you're able to do these two things, you can. There is no end to what you can do. And I never look back. And
Right.
then she told me,
Right.
you have to be very realistic. So don't. If you're getting a lot of cardiovascular exercises in the Bharatnatyam exercises itself, there is a basic level of exercises that we do, and a lot of other activities. So don't do jogging, unless and until you have a soft track, and don't overdo. Don't try to get into marathons. You need to be very clear. You have to have the conscious and aware, knowledge about what you're doing. If you go overboard and if you want to do everything unrealistically, it will be counterproductive. So you should know very clearly what you want and where to draw the line. So now, even when it comes to weight training, we kind of give a variation. Like the pandemic period, we don't have extremely heavy weights. So instead of focusing on 1 rep max, we try to, get in time under tension techniques and greater endurance activities and lighter weights with greater reps. Okay, when the time comes, we will try that also. So, since I have been doing everything in an informed way and getting the right nutrition for my joints, right from preparing my body to build collagen and omega-3 to develop the synovial fluid, I think of every possible thing, and having a lot of antioxidants. So, joints is everything. Joints is everything.
Correct.
I heard Mike O'Hearn say that I don't care for the muscles. If you're doing it, wherever you have a genetic disposition, your muscles will develop anyways. But joints is everything. The moment you injure a joint, you have lost everything. So prevention, I learned to prevent it all very early. So fortunately, I didn't get many injuries. I think I would like to give an advice to everybody that I think it's a cliche, but leave your ego outside the gym. So a lot of boys, they come and try to do very, very heavy weights in front of me. Oh, you may be a pro, but I lift heavier than you. So like, fine. I'm very comfortable with that. I can smile at that, and I can love them for that. That, oh, if you're competing with a woman in 50s, a young boy in 20s, that means you've already made my day,
Absolutely. Yeah. So what is the heaviest Olympic lift you have done?
Oh, I haven't gone. The deadlift is 110 kgs, and I have never wanted to do more than that. I'm very clear. Okay. I'm not a power lifter. Yeah. I just want to be strong. And the bodybuilders, if they try to lift too heavy, they make their deadlifts too heavy, their core will become bigger. So if you just need to strengthen the lower back, and you want your midsection to be very toned and strong, and not very big. So you don't want that kind of hypertrophy there. So it's better to do repetitions, make your core strong. There are thousands of ways to make your core strong. So strength is different from the your endurance. It has to be very internal. So that is the kind of strength I focus upon.
Wonderful. So what was the one reason you would state that made your mind so strong and wise?
I don't know. I really don't know. But yes, I live with a parallel sense of detachment in everything. That I never pursue anything which is, I don't worry for things which are beyond my control. And I do my best and leave the result. See, that is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. That
Absolutely.
Also, I tell a lot of competitors, they are so worried about winning a medal, and they show me their body and say, oh, will I win a medal? I said, you may be the best in the world, but how do you know who else is going to, from which country, which other athlete is going to come on stage besides you? And how are you sure that things may not go wrong for you? You might just need a sip of water. So there are certain things which are absolutely beyond your control. So there has to be a parallel sense of detachment. That is the key.
Absolutely. And you rightly said, you do your work and leave everything to God.
Yes,
You
yes.
know, that is what you said. So that is amazing. Now,
The reason, I began thinking like that, from the journey which I had with my son. Like,
correct.
I knew that he's not going to become Albert Einstein or anything like that, but it was a calculated risk. So I had to tell myself that even if he doesn't become what every mother would strive for her children, I have no choice. I have to do my best. And it was too
Right.
much of work, but maybe giving too much for nothing at all. But if I didn't have that, if I would have just attached myself to the result, I would never have been
Right.
able to do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very true. Very true. Now, any advice you want to give to the young people who are going nowhere? They have their minds unfocused. They're not focused in life and they're not going anywhere. Any advice from the pro?
Yes, you have to have a direction. Otherwise, you are like a ship in the middle of the ocean, without a rudder. So if you don't have a direction, it's very painful then, actually. If you have a direction, at least you will reach somewhere. You know what you're doing. So you're very sure of yourself at every single step. And if you're really going nowhere, it's actually, the journey is very painful. So in life also, it's not the destination. Again, that's a cliche. It's not the destination, it's the journey.
Right.
Life is a collection of moments. So when you don't know where you're going, you may be doing the best things in the world, but if there is no direction, it is very painful. So if you really want to enjoy the journey, which is actually everything, if you want to live your life to the fullest, you have to have a direction, so that where to focus. And at every step, every small decision you make will be targeted towards that direction. So you will be very sure of yourself, and that will give you confidence to move in life, when there are naysayers, when there are people trying to pull you down. But you can envision what is there, for you in the future. Like, if I am doing something now and it may not give me immediate results, like a lot of youngsters are looking for instant gratification, instant money, instant results.
Yes. Yes.
You see, say a musician, they want to sing two songs and they become, great singers.
They want to
But
be a
there are
celebrity.
people who, they become a celebrity. Oh my God. I saw, a lady, because I do Bharatnatyam also. I saw one lady doing Bharatnatyam like a folk dance. She actually did a dance on national anthem. And the last person I know who danced on national anthem was in 1800 something, Bala Saraswati, who did it in front of Rabindranath Tagore. So they don't even do that much of homework, that in front of you cannot do a Bharatnatyam, a classical dance performance on national anthem. This was just 2 days
Correct.
ago. So if you have not envisioned your future, you may be doing the best things in the world, but you will not reach anywhere. And
Anywhere. Correct.
the other side of it is that if you have a vision and everybody is demoralizing you, that like a singer who wants to learn classical music and has a journey in front of her, say 10-15 years, she doesn't give a performance for 10 years, she doesn't earn money for 10 years, everybody is bringing her down, but her vision is very clear, that I'm not going to do a mediocre performance. I'm going to do the best. That's why you may do it in 2 days, but I'm going to do it in 15 years, which may sound ridiculous, but she has her vision very clear. So, so when people try to bring you down, you will have the confidence that I'm doing right. But that can only happen if you have a clear vision. So if you're going nowhere, it's going to be very painful for you. You will not be able to find
Absolutely.
it out. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you have also answered my next question. That was one advice to people who are into the hustle and thinking that, yes, we may go somewhere, but still finding it difficult and struggling. But you have said it very rightly that if you have a goal, you have a vision, there will be a push from the nature. Maybe there might be so many naysayers pulling you down, but still you will have that kind of energy, that kind of endurance, which will pull you up and take you to your goal.
Yeah, absolutely. You see, a lot of athletes now are depending for their glory and fame and stardom by creating an illusion on social media. So they might have won like say 1.5 medals, and they are like kind of they buy followers, and I find it derogatory to one own self, you know,
Hmm.
that you are creating an illusion by spending that amount of money. So when they see somebody who is substance and hardcore, they feel
Hmm.
insecure, and they are very uncomfortable with themselves. Whereas
Hmm.
if you know, I might have just say 10 followers, I'm fine. But
Hmm.
people are going to look up at me. People who know me will really respect me. That brings a lot of
Correct.
peace. That I can see myself in the mirror. So that is something which will stay with you forever. So what is important is not what you achieve or you get. What is
Hmm.
important is who you become in the process. If I become a
Absolutely.
bodybuilder, have I learned how to remain fit for the rest of my life, so that I can give back much more to the society, enter many other domains, widen my horizons, and live my life to the fullest. If I can do all of that, it's who I become out of being a good bodybuilder, whether I understand fitness to the core. It's who I become as a singer or a dancer. Have I become more aware of my body? Have I become sensitive? Have I learned mythology? Have I learned the essence of Bhagavad Gita? So all these things, it's who you become in our inner self. That is more important.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it will never stay with anybody.
Yes,
We have seen several celebrities uh, ending their life in vain. I mean, in poor. So
yes, absolutely.
stardom never remains
No,
with
it's an
anybody.
illusion.
It's an illusion. You have very rightly said. Yes, great, wonderful. So, what do you think? Why people give up? As an athlete, I mean, as a bodybuilder, we know that you go to the core, you go to the end, you know what pain is, right? But if we talk about general public, people give up so easily. Why is that? Your
Yeah,
point of view.
there are two sides to it. One is I shouldn't be saying it, but there is a positive side to giving up. When you know that going beyond a certain point is getting counterproductive, you need to understand life as a whole. So if in one thing you're going too far, you're stretching too far, and you're harming, say, your family members. Like I have seen boys say, I sold my mother's jewelry to win the medal for the country. Why? I know of a bodybuilder whose wife ate food one time so that he can eat chicken. I thought it was ridiculous. So at
Hmm.
one point of time, sometimes it is good to give up when you're seeing that it is getting counterproductive for others. That is one side to it. The second side of it, the people who give up are the ones who don't have vision. Number one. Number two,
Hmm.
they are attached to the result so much that they want instant gratification. They want it
Correct.
spontaneously. Like I will tell you, if I may, especially the Bharatnatyam class, I've seen a lot of it there. When the girls come in, they feel, wow, we'll wear a
Hmm.
beautiful dress. It's so majestic,
Hmm.
and they'll go on stage
Hmm.
and look at all the adulation that wow, you do classical dance. It's the cultural
Hmm.
heritage of India. It's glorious. But when they come uh, for 1 year, you need to just prepare your body. It's so painful.
Right.
You know, we get,
Right.
I'm like my teacher, with all love and respect, she actually gives us punishments. So you got to learn so many shlokas, you got to read, you got to, really work hard. So that pain, that sweating, that endurance, when you are in the, whatever is glamorous is actually behind the scenes never glamorous. It's very, very
Never gets. Correct.
painful, and there's a lot that goes behind a 5-minute performance. So when
Hmm.
they see the nitty gritty of it, when they see the pain and difficulties, they were attached only to the result. They were seeing the glamour.
Hmm.
They were not prepared for
Hmm.
all that. So the people who are
Hmm.
not prepared to work hard, they just want the medal or the trophy or the whatever, whatever they have desired. They just want the end result. They will never be able to last. So those
Right.
people, besides the genuine problems which actually make them give up, besides that, people who give up are the ones who were not prepared for the long haul right from the beginning, and they were attaching themselves too much to the result.
Absolutely, you're very true. And this reminds me of a picture of an iceberg where success, the iceberg at the top of it is this small, and you cannot see the iceberg which is under the sea, which has pain, which has everything apart from
Beautiful.
the success, right? Yes, that is the truth of success, actually. But and very rightly said. Very few people understand the value and meaning of delayed gratification. And delayed gratification is always a step towards the success, you know.
Absolutely.
So wonderful, great. While talking to you, I have realized that you are a very, very spiritual person, right? Now, how has that helped you to be a strong woman?
Oh yes, I think that is almost everything that that is primarily what has got me through. Mm, I think millions of challenges in my life, and because I've had a tough life otherwise also. So maybe I just had no choice, and right from childhood I was the 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 desire to survive and the makes you, and the desire to be loved makes you want to do better and better, and in the process I said what is important is what you become as a human being. That is more important.
Right,
So
right.
again, I think I may just come to the same thing, that when you have a parallel sense of detachment towards everything and you don't push for things that you cannot control, you can go for very long in any journey. And so, when you are consistent, I have seen that you may be the clumsiest person, trying to do something. But if you're going to do it every day, every day, every day, irrespective of how you are, then you will achieve. There are so many things like when I have gone to when I have begun at an older age, I have gone with 6-year-old children and tried things, and I've been the clumsiest, and everybody has laughed at me and I laugh with them. So then within 6 months I'm with a senior, you know
Right,
so
right.
I know that consistency is something which, and not get offended, be ready to be clumsy and silly, but if you have that clear vision in your mind that I'm clumsy today, but I don't mind looking clumsy. A lot of people don't begin because they feel that, oh, I cannot do this and people may laugh at me. So
Yeah,
when
what
you are
others will
ready to
think.
be laughed at, and when you
Right.
are allowing people to laugh at you and be happy about it, that let's laugh together because tomorrow I'm going to do it in actual real life situations and on an everyday basis. So that acceptance of the fragility within you, that kind of enhances you spiritually, and then you can achieve anything in any field that way.
Absolutely. Very true. Very true. This is the biggest message you have given. People actually do not start because they think what others will think.
Yes, yes.
Right. Now, this is a great message to the society. And another one point I just want to ask you is, as a person, you have got immense fame, right, in the field, in the industry. Uh, how you have changed as a person, and what message you want to give to the people who are getting into the industry? Like, I see you as the one of the most humblest person while talking to you, and right. But I have also seen people success gets in the head. So, what message you want to give, and how did you change as a person?
See, well, fame is something which I don't think is that kind of fame, but yes, people in the fraternity know me, and I'm very grateful for that. I've been loved for that. Maybe because in the beginning when I started, there was really no woman. A lot of women came and they won medals. There were a couple of women who won a couple of medals before me also, but I was there doing it. I was, working on it. So now the thing is that, if I think whether it's me or anybody, there are a couple of things that are associated with fame. If you have it, one, it gives you a beautiful platform. It's because of the platform, and there are a lot of people now, even internationally, because I do have people, I have relatives abroad, so people have contacted me to join in and kind of promote a few causes, even in India. Like, I had a wonderful person, he requested me to make a video for the Save My River Tavi, for environment, and of course women
Yeah, I saw
empowerment.
that.
Yes, that was, I was very touched. He's doing a great job, and so people. I love to. You have to give back to the society. When people love you, you are a kind of platform in your own right, and every person, especially women, they must come forward and spread messages and awareness in whatever field they can, because we have a lot of ignorance and illiteracy and misconceptions in our society, in almost everything. So that kind, and a lack of enlightenment. Like, there are people who are educated but they are not enlightened. So I
Right.
think that is one thing that people who have fame must take head on. And there are things which I have learned from truly famous people. Like, I heard once Asha Bhosle, she said in one of her interviews that when I go from this world, I want people to say that, okay, she was an okay average singer, which she is not, but that these are her words. That, okay, she was an average singer, but she was a very good human being. That is what we need in this world. When my son was diagnosed with autism, my father motivated me with this one thing, that there are a lot of intelligent, cunning, rich, good looking, all sorts of people in this world, but you will not find good souls, good human beings. So I want that for myself,
Right.
that
Right.
I can propagate goodness, love, humility, and caring, and just go beyond egos, and don't think you are a big shot and try to behave. I can never do that. Even if I become some president or something, I don't think I can look at myself in the mirror if I ever even unknowingly hurt anybody. I'd rather bear a loss, but I cannot do that. Anybody can, I cannot. So with fame, I feel these two things, that you should use your platform to spread goodness, and the second thing is that try to promote that being a good human being is very important. I think it will make your life really worthwhile.
Absolutely. Very few people are like you who work for a cause. Otherwise, people like you are more of the commercial value. Everybody wants money,
Yes,
and everybody is working for money. Very few of are giving back to the society, and that is one of the wonderful things which you have it in you. So you have played many roles and you are still doing it. You are into Bharatnatyam, you are doing a lot of things. You are a mother, you take care of your kid, you are a bodybuilder, you are a judge. Which is the hardest role, the most toughest role you have ever played?
I think mother. I still worry about my
Yes.
child, because he still needs me, even in spite of being 32, and I even worry about how to plan. Right now, my real biggest challenge is that how will he manage when I'm no longer there? And a lot of people tell me, you should think positive, you should not think about that, but I think that's really crazy. You have to plan
That's reality.
for your
This
children.
reality.
Yeah, it's your divine
Yes.
duty, and you must do it. And besides that, I always say, yes, as I said, that beyond the point we don't have control. I feel that if you've been a good human being, there is a divine conspiracy, but you have to earn it. If you are, a lot of things happen to me, which I feel are miracles, and I can look up and say, oh, it was you there. I mean, this wouldn't have happened, and wow, this is a miracle, this is happening. And
Right.
so these things happen to people who have been, good and kind in their life. So I feel that, you have to earn that divine conspiracy, that nature conspires to protect you. sometimes things happen which are not according to what you wish for, but a lot of things take care of themselves on their own automatically.
Right.
So, somebody approached me about 1.5 years ago, and although we are not really going very, very much public about it, but she wrote an entire biopic, about my life, and now they're converting it into web series with Dark Motions and T series. So, I kind of work for building something, a legacy, so that my son will be taken care of. But in the first place, the very fact that they approached me, it doesn't
Hmm.
happen to everybody. I'm
Hmm.
just very
Hmm.
fortunate that it's happening to me. So there are a lot of things which have happened. I feel that it's God who is doing it all. So as of now, the question was, I just went on a different tangent, but the question was that what is your biggest challenge? Yes, that is my biggest challenge. The rest things, they do take care of themselves.
Yes, absolutely. That are small in front of everything. Now, your vision to change the world if you were given the powers of God for one day.
That's too much of responsibility. Well, I would just want
A
that.
mother can hold the responsibility, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would just say that look at. I wish that people would learn something from animals. The animals have so much of sense of detachment. They want love. They want their basic needs to be fulfilled. They are not greedy. They know so much by instinct. God has given every creature, whether human
Hmm.
being or animal, something on which he can build and grow. We are especially endowed with a lot of other qualities. So I wish that we could just ask for love, irrespective of religion and all those social hierarchies and political boundaries. And I think people would just learn to love each other as human beings. Because I am working on international platforms, I interact with. Sometime we had recently had an event called "We Are the Change," where there were 100 women from different countries, and
Hmm.
we all got together for a cause, for sisterhood, and together we became the voice of change for Loni International. There were about 40 countries there, so we are just the same. We are so much the same. So people fight for
Absolutely.
political boundaries and for all these differences in them. I just wish that people would learn from animals, and animals have no political boundaries. They just have love and taking care of their children. So I wish we could be like that.
Absolutely. Amazing thought. Amazing thought. So, what do you do to stay motivated and inspire yourself? You always inspire other people. I mean, people get inspired. You just said that a lot of people come to you and say that they started their career as a bodybuilder or as a fitness expert just because of you. So, what do you do to inspire yourself and keep on
Uh,
going?
I see. It's like there's not one particular thing, but yes, when I was a child, I always tried for excellence because I wanted love. Maybe at that time I was immature, but the only way, because my mother was sick, my father had to look after her, and I was in complete isolation. The only way I would get love and adulation was by doing my best. To do my best was, I never strayed into anything wrong or negative, like people get into bad habits if they're not being loved or something like that. I somehow, it was inherent in me. I always felt my life has a purpose, and I never strayed into anything like negative or any bad habits, or I never swayed away. But that was very much in me. But after I lost, I had to sacrifice, voluntarily about 20 years of my prime youth years.
Yes,
I
yes.
lost life, and I started understanding the value of every day, every single day. And I feel that I need to cover up those 20 years. I have huge potential. And,
Hmm.
the fact that people think that, oh, she is above 50 and now it's not possible, that inspires me to prove them wrong, that I can
Hmm.
still live. I take a lot of, there are a lot of women. I mean, I know bodybuilders who are in their 70s, the Bharatnatyam guru, I said she's in her 80s. I learn from them. I always go and talk to them. How they do, what did they do, and you know, if you're 80 and you're strong, it's not that one fine day you got up and decided to be strong. There must be something wonderful that she must have done all her life to retain. So I want to start early. So the fact that I lost 20 years of my prime youth and I have to cover up and get back my self-respect in my family, because I was not financially independent for 20 years, and I had to undergo a lot of humiliation for that. So I need to cover up for that. That pushes me. I have to super compensate. As in fitness, we have super
Yes.
compensation.
Yes.
I need to do that
Yes.
super
Yes.
compensation with my life, and that really inspires me to do much more, as much as possible. And I don't want
Wonderful.
a single day of my life to go waste. So I want to be fit because I want to be able to work. The need to cover up all those years is kind of the primary push, which you know, I have to you know, complete what I started. That is the reason
Right.
why I restarted Bharatnatyam after more than 2 decades, you know, because whatever was left incomplete, I want to finish it off. So
Your dreams.
yes,
Yes.
and I'm there
Yes.
for the long haul. I don't want it in one day. You know, I'm just going to take my time and do
Absolutely,
it properly.
absolutely, absolutely. See, you have the vision. When you have the vision, you know the journey, and
Yes,
that journey is never quick. So you have to
absolutely.
have very patient. You have to be very patient to achieve that excellence,
Yes,
right?
it is.
Otherwise,
What's important is what you are able to do. A lot of people, you know, I have been told by a lot of people, oh, you're learning, even we want to learn. We just want to wear that dress and go once on stage and that's it. But that's not my point. It's what I'm able to do, you know, what I'm able to become.
absolutely, absolutely. And one point you shared was that you have to practice again and again. You have to take that baby steps to reach your goal, right? In case of martial arts also, I heard that day that you were also learning for Bharatnatyam, the
Yeah,
Kalaripat, right?
Kalari.
Right. And as a martial artist, few of the people enroll in the martial arts class, but they want to be Jet Li or Bruce Lee in one day, and that is not possible, right? You have to have a practice 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 times, single kick, single thing. Same
Yeah.
case is in the bodybuilding. People come, they get into the fast track, they want everything in 1 year, and they ruin their internal health.
Yes.
So bodybuilding and fitness is not a short span game. That is a lifestyle, and that has to be into our blood. That is the main point, which I believe our youth have to understand at this point of time. I have seen a lot of young people who I have coached. They never listened, and they were on gear and steroids and everything, and they're not in this world at this point of time. They just flew off at the age of 25, 26. What is the point in getting everything so fast if you get off the world? You
Yes.
don't have anything
It's
at the
great. Nothing
right.
more precious.
So absolutely nothing more precious than life, and maybe that is not precious for you, but you are the most precious thing for your family and for your people.
Yes, very
We
true.
have to realize that. We have to realize that. Now, just one more question: your purpose of life.
I've already said that yes, I want to live just particularly my life. I want to live it to my fullest. You know, I want to be
Fullest.
able to
Yes.
do everything that God has made me capable of, and to live every single day productively, and also you know, uh, leave a safe world for my son, so that he's able to live the rest
Yes.
of his life with dignity and without being harmed. And so that
That
is
kind
what
of
I
legacy you want to build, and that kind of asset you want to give to your
yes,
kid.
yes,
That is the reason you are working so hard as now.
yes, absolutely.
Yes. So few of the questions, one word answer, rapid, right? Are you
I
ready?
will try. I will Yeah.
Just a fun. So what type of food you prefer generally?
Healthy food, any day.
Healthy food, huh?
Healthy, it
You
has to be healthy.
you don't have cheat meals? The concept of cheat
Very
meals, is
rarely.
that in your
No,
mind?
no, because you see, let me give you a sentence on this. There's a reason in my case. I told you my mother was very sick right from the time I was born.
Hmm, hmm, hmm,
So she wouldn't cook, So for us, right
hmm,
from the very
hmm,
beginning, it was survival. It was what we needed.
hmm,
We ate for strength. From the time,
hmm,
we were just being formed. So I never
hmm,
had a fascination for taste. I was not brought up like that. So
hmm,
when I look at food, I see carbohydrate, protein, fat, and that's not because I have to win a competition. That's how I am. So
hmm,
it comes
hmm,
very naturally to me, at least, that
hmm,
mindset.
hmm.
My cheat meal
Great.
is mangoes.
So
I overdo on mangoes. That's one thing, I'm
I
very,
also love mangoes.
and you know what I say? I hate this mango season. I hope it ends so that I don't have any temptation. And when the
You won't
mangoes go,
believe.
everything will become glorious.
Yes. So I have a big family, and we are 8 people in the family. And this season was amazing for us. Every 3 days, I bought about 15 kgs of mangoes, and in 3 days we finish. So you would see
I
that
ate two
post in my
mangoes
Instagram
every
also.
day. Yeah.
I used to eat like 10, 12 mangoes in a day in this season.
Oh my God.
I love it so much.
My goodness, that's a lot. That's a lot. I
Yes,
feel I
yes.
should be eating
Now,
maybe one, but I've been eating two, and then I feel guilty about it. Yeah. That's my weakness. That is.
okay, so who do you admire the most?
My father.
He was into defense.
Yes, he was in defense, and at every point of time, he was there by me. He made me who I am. I'm like kind of made of him. So since I didn't have a great network in the sense that because of my circumstances, he was my best friend also, and kind of he encouraged me. He gave me the strength when I was at my weakest. So and then he looked after my mother for more than 30 years. I've never
Hmm.
seen a man who is so dedicated to his wife, and he used to call her, she's my goddess. Men, when they see that their wives have problems, and sometimes men who have wonderful wives, they go astray, they want to have fun, they don't attach themselves to their children. But my father was like my father, my mother, and the way he looked after my mother, uh, it was commendable. And one thing he told me in particular, which is very very rare, is like he used to tell me that you don't have to look after me, otherwise it's a transaction. When I was bringing you up, I got the happiness of being a father, and so I got back what I should get from you. Now I will continue to live through you, so you are the one doing me a favor, and I will serve you. So he looked after me, and he looked after my son. So I've rarely seen, not because he's my father or something, but I have actually very rarely seen a person like him. So he's somebody I really admire, and I always
Wise
look
man
up to
and
him.
great
In my
thoughts.
in my weakest moments, whatever he said to me, things like, "It is a war of wits. Don't run away from problems. Face the problem in the eye." All these things, these words, they are all with me always. So they make me who I
That is in
am.
your mind.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
And he used
yes,
to say,
absolutely.
repeat it 100 times, like crazily repeat, especially
Hmm,
stressing on the value of time. If my neighbor would come and try
hmm,
to talk to me, he used to say, don't waste even a single second. Because if you want to become great in life, if you want to achieve,
hmm,
then you
hmm,
should be saving those little bits of time which you are squandering here and there. Especially in today's, I mean, he didn't see this happening, but now I relate it to the social media obsession. People
absolutely.
want to
Yes.
reply on social media. They get offended if you don't reply to everything.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
Who did not like, who liked. I mean, I usually post and forget it. And once in a while I look back, and I'm very thankful to everybody. But it's not arrogance, but I want to take time. I have a larger purpose. So
Absolutely.
these are the things which he taught me. So he really instilled it to such, and he taught me to get up and see a dictionary every time, to walk up to the library and refer an encyclopedia every time. So there were a lot of things which we were members of 5 libraries when we were small. So with all the challenges that he had with my mother, he was doing all that. So, that is an amazing thing. I don't see men like that anymore.
Absolutely, and very rightly said. I would like to add in this a quotation that great people are not available to everyone.
Yes,
They work in solitude, and they work for the great things to happen for the society and for the world. That is the
oh, so
magic.
much. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes, yes. So when are you most productive?
When I'm alone.
Yes, everyone who people who have a mediocre thought process are productive. I would not say productive, but enjoy with in the crowd, right? But great people are always in depth, in the solitude, thinking
Yes.
for themselves, thinking for the society, and thinking for the family, and doing that great works.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That is the
Yeah,
major
I
point.
need to be
Yes.
alone
Very
to
right.
be focused, especially if you're doing creative work, you need to be thinking. And if I'm in a crowd, then I can get distracted. Sometimes I may get a
Absolutely.
thought which may just fly away. So
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
I'm always writing down things which on a notepad which come to my mind, and then maybe
Uh,
expand on it later. So I'm most productive when I'm alone, for sure.
and there is always few minutes, I would say, in a complete 24 hours, when you sharpen your axe, when you focus to that point of time, or that point where you plan for your future and plan your day, and then you become more productive, and that is what you are, I believe.
जैसे दिन में
Great.
एक बार सरस्वती बैठती है.
हाँ हाँ, right, right, right. And वो कहते हैं ना, अभी मैं I was just listening to someone, so उन्होंने comparison किया सरस्वती और लक्ष्मी का. So उन्होंने कहा सरस्वती के बिना लक्ष्मी नहीं है.
Actually,
So
it is so easy. When you compare Saraswati and Lakshmi, people think that to be glorious and to be famous and well known and whatever, you need a lot of money. But actually, you don't need that. You need a book, and you need to study, or you need to work hard in the gym. So there was
yes.
one lady recently. She met me and said that my daughter wants to do bodybuilding, but she needs a lot of money for that. You have studied, but I need a lot of money for that. I said, there are people who, I mean, like, I don't want to give those examples on Nadi Par karke school padne gaya tha. I don't want to do that. But, even if
Absolutely.
you're sitting comfortably in your bedroom, it is so cheap. You're saving so much money. Come on. You sit in your room and you study. If it was so easy, every rich man would have been a scholar and a bodybuilder. But
Right.
or an
Very true.
artist. They go to discourse. But we sit in our bedrooms in isolation and we study. We go to the gym. We exercise. When we have the pandemic, I have not advertised it as much. But there's not a single day, when I missed my weight training. I requested somebody, and he was very kind to give me a lot more weights than I already have. So if you want, you can. You don't actually, when you are so involved in all these things, you are not roaming around and squandering away money. You save
Absolutely.
money.
Getting old for you is
Getting
age.
wiser and more experienced.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Amazing, amazing answer. And your greatest achievement?
My greatest achievement is that my son is functional. There's no two ways about it.
Wow. Wow. That is the inspiration which you give, because anyone would say that I have won this, I have won this, I have this title, I have this title, but the mother's greatest achievement is that your son is functional. And that is
Yes.
amazing.
Yes, because that was something which it was like kind of, he was born with something like God has not given him the instinct to talk. And you must have heard of a story when Savitri went to Yamraj and got her husband back.
Yes.
So, I did it. I didn't go to any Amraj, but I worked for 20 years the hard way,
Right.
and
Right.
facing all the, all the criticism and a lot of humiliation, endless humiliation, I must say. Maybe that made me more humble. That
Right.
endless humiliation, and I got that, and he's talking, he's working, so that is a very, very huge achievement, and that is related to a full-fledged human being.
Absolutely. And what is your biggest strength? Your
Strength
biggest
that I,
strength?
I don't give up. I don't give up.
Yes. And what is your greatest failure?
Uh, my greatest failure. I'm too sensitive, I think.
Yes.
I'm very sensitive. I'm very sensitive, but if you say greatest failure, then if you say life, then maybe I should have married after really establishing myself much better. If you look at life as a whole.
So, can you give just 5 mantras, 5 success mantras to the people, the audience, and the youth? Any 5 points which you feel that, yes, these are the 5 points which one should incur to be successful in life?
First is that, have a clear vision. That's the first thing. And
Yes.
aim high. You should aim high.
Yes.
And then take baby steps. Never think that anything is impossible. Take baby steps.
Yes.
And save time. You should, time management is a big mantra to success. That is actually, in fact, everything. Uh, so, when you
Absolutely.
are saving time and you're very focused, you will reach your goal. And second, there has to be, the last, I think there's a fifth one, you have to have a parallel
Yes.
sense of detachment, that if nothing happens, then have faith in destiny, that whatever is happening, God has envisioned something bigger and larger for you, or maybe you're being protected. So, it is what, as I said, it's what you become. So you should not attach yourself too much to the end result, but focus on who you have become, within your inner self, in the process of that journey.
Absolutely. And thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ritaji, for your vision, for your views, and for your words. That is very, very inspiring. Your story is inspiring, and it has actually, I am sure it will give a lot of strength to women, to other people who just with little problems or little struggles try to could not face life. So this will be I would say, I don't have any words for you, but I would say that yes, a person like you is on the earth to do something great, and you are already on to that level of journey. So that is amazing, and that is I'm highly obliged for you to take time and talk to me. And this is the channel where I would say I have given the title The Inspired and the Most Inspiring and Purposeful Minds, and you are one of them. Now, I would love to feature you in my book, and this will also go in the forthcoming podcast. This talk will actually give a vision to a lot of people, and this is one more step you have taken it forward to give it back to the society, what you always say. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
And
you for having me. I'm so honored. This is very special too,
great.
because usually in interviews we are asked about maybe about fitness and athletics, and I think this is a very well, you're a great listener, first of all, and it's a very well curated interview also. So I think I'm very, very honored and very happy that I have done this interview. I would really like to say this, and you'll be saving your life.
Yes.
Yeah, both the ones. I know I really
Yes,
want
I
this.
have
And
done it.
I
I
have
have done the previous one. I'll do this as well, and this will be in my YouTube channel as well.
yeah,
And the
I
same
will
talk
send
will
it
go in the
to
podcast.
I will send it to the lady who has written my biopic, and because she knows me so deeply, it's almost 1.5 years since
Yes,
I've telling her about my story. So you know what she means to me, and
yes,
she can understand much more, much more. The gravity of things that I have said. In context.
yes,
I really want to do that.
yes, yes,
I'll be
yes.
very happy if I get the interview.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll do that. And thank you so much. I'm honored, and thank you so much for being here. And I'll surely catch you soon for another interview, and I'll talk to you about that.
Yes, we will look back very happily at this, and I'm so honored too. You're writing a book, and yes, it being yourself, you have also brought an entire paradigm change in your own right towards how the fitness industry should be. There are few people who have brought in education and a very different approach towards it, and the very fact that you picked up, the mind. The process, how the mind processes, and how we should approach different things is is absolutely incredible. And thank you for having me. I mean, like, I'm so honored to be one of those people. Thank you so much.
Welcome and thanks. Thanks for being here. And
Yeah.
see you
Thank
soon.
you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.